Hello guys, and welcome back to Cooking with Sadaf. And today we are going to test some viral baking hacks from TikTok. Well, on a coincidence, all of the hacks for today are actually cupcake related, so we are going to make a delicious vanilla cupcake too, and stay tuned for the recipe of that. So today we are going to test about 4 to 3 hacks, I guess. And the first hack actually starts from before making the actual cupcake. The first hack, which I will show you now.
Best hack for getting perfect cupcakes every time. Just use rice under each cake liner.
The first hack is for when you are making cupcakes and you have soggy buttons, and nobody likes the soggy buttons, so we're going to fix that. And for that reason, we all use the good old cupcake liner, which is in paper, and it always have that, soggy bottom, which is oily, and you want to grab it, and your cupcake mold is oily and it's hard to wash, and we all have been in that situation, am I right? So how to fix that? We are going to add some rice, raw uncooked rice, to the bottom of the baking pan. And well, let's see what happens. Although you know what, I can see the mechanism of that. Rice absorbs the oil, and yeah, I can see that working. What we have to see, and stick until the end of the video to see if it works or not. And also for the test reference, I'm going to leave half of them without rice and half of them with rice to see the difference. Well, the second hack is also before making the actual cupcakes, and the reason I'm doing them first before making my batter is actually I don't want my batter to sit too much, because when you're adding the wet ingredients to your dry ingredients, you have to bake it right away. Don't waste any time, because the baking powder or baking soda is start developing the second it touches the wet ingredients. So bake it right away, put it in the oven, and don't waste any time, or you will have not so fluffy cakes. So the next hack, is for making heart-shaped cupcake, because everyone loves a heart-shaped cupcake, am I right? And the molds are expensive, not all of us have the molds, and we're going to use some aluminum foil to make the regular shaped molds to heart shape. I have wanted to try this hack for a while, and I have cut some aluminum foil before, so I have some in hand, and I'm going to make half of them in the rice part and half of them in the not rice part. And the girl folded the foil in a rectangular shape, and she put them on 2 sides for, that seems right, for 2 sides. Oh yeah, it's actually working. I don't know if you can see it, but don't judge it too soon. We have to see how the actual cakes came out, because we all have been there when we have a nice mold and we put the cake or cookie in it, and at the end it's like blob. And then she made a cylinder type of shape like this, and then she put it in the center for, ouch. By the way, be careful while working with aluminum foil. It's really dangerous, and you will cut your hand with it very hard. Okay, I can see that it's making it to a heart. Yeah, that looks like a heart to me. I can see that it's not holding right, so I guess we have to wait and pour our batter, then put our aluminum foil, but I'm going to just add the little side parts so that we have at least some ready. Okay, so I will set that aside for now. Let's bake our vanilla cupcakes. I've preheated my oven to 180 centigrade or 356 Fahrenheit for a while now. And for our dry ingredients, I have 2 cups of flour, and I'm going to sift my baking powder too. It's 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And to that, I'm going to add just a little dash of salt, and because we are so extra, we also sift the salt. Okay, so let me set that aside. And after that, just whisk your dry ingredients to just make sure they're combined with my tiny little whisk. I don't know why I chose this small whisk for today. For the rest of our ingredients, I have 1 cup of caster sugar here, and to that I'm going to add 2 large eggs and because it's a vanilla cupcake, add a good healthy amount of vanilla extract, and you can use any other type of extract too, it's not necessary. This is a very basic recipe, and it's not basic, but the recipe is basic, you know. It's actually really delicious. Okay, and then beat it with your hands with a stand mixer. I'm just going to use my electric beater because it's much easier. I hope it reaches. Okay, alright, you whisk it until it's nice and fluffy and lighter in color. Then add your yogurt. And then just give it a quick mix until the yogurt is also mixed. Wet ingredients are ready, and to that I'm going to add my flour in 3 or 4 parts. I'm also going to add my half a cup of milk, again in 2 or 3 batches, and a 1/3 cup of just regular oil. Give it a quick whisk. At first it might be lumpy, but don't worry, keep whisking, it will be okay. At this step, as you know, one of my biggest pet peeves to use electric whisk while adding the flour to your cake batter. Here is actually a pro tip from me, and I've said it like 1,000 times before, but never ever use electric mixer while mixing your cake batter, cookie batter, anything. After adding your flour, it's a sin. Yeah, don't do that in this channel. Okay, my batter is nice and ready. And our next hack is actually this one.
Cupcake hack with Melissa. Flip off your batter, then cut corner and squeeze. So easy.
So she's using a piping bag to add her cupcake batter. I think it's pretty clever. We're a little risky here, but let's see at a point that if this hack works or not. I have my parking bag. I have my I have my piping bag here, and I've lost the power of talking. And I have a nozzle, just any simple big nozzle. And another tip from me, I don't know if this is a TikTok hacks testing or me just giving random tips. Always use a tall, nice big glass for putting your piping bag in it. It's much more convenient and you have both your hands free. Put it like this. Very easy. And then she skipped the part when you actually pour your cake batter into the piping bag, and she used a ladle. Yeah, I'm going to just pour the half of my batter for this now. See what happens. Ooh, this is so liquidy. I have high hopes. Please work, or my kitchen will be a mess. See, this is what I was talking about. I don't know if you see, but I spilled a lot of cake batter here, and thanks God I was using a glass. Otherwise, can you imagine how hard could it be using my hands to fill this cake batter? Not gonna imagine that. Okay. Ooh. Okay. We went right through that. And fill 3/4 cups of your cupcake liner. Wow, that was hard. Is it convenient? Yes, but if only your cake batter or cupcake batter is really thick, you know. This is so risky, and I have already spilled a lot of it. Okay, for the next part I'm actually going to dye my cake batter pink because we're making heart-shaped cake, so why not making it pink? Just going to add a little bit of food coloring, not so much. Ooh, that was too much. Already too much. Okay, we're going to have red cake. For this part, I'm actually going to use method that I use for pouring my cupcake batter into my cupcakes, and it's just using my trusty ladle. You just clean the edges and easy peasy, cupcake squeezy. So easy, and you can really control it better. For the heart, we don't want to forget that. And let's see if we can have some heart shape. I'm going to fill the rest of them with my trusty ladle. Yes, it was easier, but okay, I promise this is not the way I use my ladle. I don't know why today I am so not in mood to use my hands. Last hack is actually about flattening the top of your cupcakes. I am going to just overfill them a little bit to give it the benefit of a doubt and make them a little domey. Okay, so I filled my cupcakes, and now I'm going to add those little aluminum thingy to make it like hard. And have I overfilled it? Yes, I have. And that's one of the things you shouldn't do while baking a cupcake. cupcake. Who am I to judge? Okay, it needs adjustment, and remember when I talked to you about putting your cake batter in the oven as fast as possible? Yeah, this is not going to happen this time. I'm going to put it in the oven to bake for around 20 minutes and I will let you know what happened. Okay, it's already coming out. Okay, guys, it's already coming out. Help. Somebody help me.
One eternity later.
Here is a baking tip to get flat tops on your cupcakes. I've noticed that my chocolate cupcakes always dome a little bit. So when the cupcakes are fresh out the oven, I get a spoon and then press them down a little bit. And this should make a big difference to them.
I did a really risky thing with folding the donut. Oh my god. So the girl in the TikTok flattened the cupcakes as soon as they came out of the oven because obviously we want them to be hot, and as you can see I tried my best to make them as domed as possible. Okay, which one should I use? This one. Yes, it's working. And she insisted to do it in circular motion. Yes, it's working. Okay, but I have to say that since my cupcakes are not domed or mountained by this stage, I have to say that this hack works if you have filled your cupcakes with about 3/4 cups filled, just a little bit of hill, not a mountain up here. Yes, these hacks work, but I have some doubts because since it's hot, it's getting a little flat, but it's also making the top a little wrinkly, and if I give too much pressure it will actually break the cupcake and it's cracking. So yes, if it's a little bit of heel on your cupcake it works. If it's mountain it doesn't. And for our next hack, which was the rice, let's see if my cupcakes have a soggy bottom or not. Still so hot. This is the one with rice and this is the one without rice. I could have waited, but I didn't. To see if it's actually oily, I'm going to grab a really thin tissue and just rub it on the bottom of the cake pan to see if it's actually oily. It's not. So the one that didn't have the rice is actually not oily at all. And the one that had the rice in them is actually, you can see that the rice has absorbed around, a little oil. You can see that the rice is pretty much transparent. And when the rice is transparent like this, you know that it has absorbed some oil, and it's so hot I'm holding with my oven mitten. So the rice hack, yes, it does work. It does absorb oil, or okay, I can see some oil here. Yes, it works. It's good, especially if you are making types of cupcakes with a lot of oil in the recipe and the ones that are made with butter. This definitely helps, and the cooling process will be easier because at the end that's the goal. I have to check the bottom of the cupcakes too. Okay, this is the one without rice and not oily. I mean, it made the tissue moist, that moisture, but it's not oily that it's making my hands pretty much oily. They have a difference, which is the one that didn't have the rice actually has a really nice flat bottom, but the one with rice had some texture at the bottom, which is obviously the texture of the rice. That's interesting. And some other thing I have to say is that the one without rice is more browned on top because it was in contact with the pan directly, but the one with the rice has actually a nice, softer and not so brown bottom. That's a good hack too if you usually burn the bottom of your cupcakes. This is a good hack. It kind of prevents it, and I guess it will work with other things like other lentils, I guess, but rice is actually a good hack. And let's go to our last one, which is our heart cupcakes, and oh my god, so hideous. Okay, I'm going to grab them now. Okay, so let's start with a bad one, a broken heart, smashed heart. Who did this to you? And oh my god, when I was transferring them to the oven, it was so hard. It was really hard to transfer them to the oven. With this foil, they just keep wobbling, and not the easiest part. This one, which I can say, does it look like a heart to you? We have a good one, which has a aluminum foil wedged in it. Oh my god. Wow, the foil is so hot. Be careful on that too. Yeah, these two, yeah, they look like hearts. Yeah, I can say that this hack works, especially if you do not overfill your cupcakes as much as I did, and you have a nice flat cupcake and then you decorate it with some frosting. Yeah, I can see that working. And also we have a little broken heart with some rice embedded in it for some reason, and this is an ugly heart, but I can say that it has a really good personality and it's delicious. This was some viral TikTok hacks that we tested, and what do you think? Do you like this kind of videos? Because I am obviously enjoying them. If you like to see more videos like this, testing, hacks and more, don't forget to smash a like button to see more videos like this, and hit that subscribe button too to let this video spread to more people. Before you go, don't forget to check out my another cupcake recipe, which is a cupcake for birthdays, parties with sprinkles on top, and it's just perfect, and I will link it here for you. Don't forget to watch that before going, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!